Hi, my name's Shannon. I have a 7-year-old and a 5-month-old, pardon you, and I live in Wolverhampton. When I spoke to my mum about breastfeeding, because my mum passed away when I was 19, so before I had my children. So whenever I spoke about it when I was younger, she always said she tried and didn't have the support. And then when I was about 11, my auntie, I remember her having my youngest cousin, she breastfed. Um, but I don't remember it being very prevalent apart from that short conversation with my mum and then see my auntie do it. But being 11, I don't think I really took it in much. I am 30 now with my second. I was 22 when I had my first. People were surprised I wanted to breastfeed being that young. People always seemed shocked, especially when I was in the hospital. So my oldest, yeah, she was tricky. She had a tongue tie that I didn't know about. So with her, I had a bit of a traumatic birth, and then she lost weight. So I was in hospital for 3, 4 days. Came home, the midwife saw us, and we went straight back in because she'd lost weight. I know it's because of the tongue tie. So then I went in exhausted, pumping, filling the hospital fridge. No one could figure out why she wasn't putting the weight on. And I got told to supplement. So I did both because I'm very stubborn and I wasn't giving up my breastfeeding. That was something I knew I wanted to do. Um, so we did that and we got to 11 weeks and I walked into a breastfeeding group and I looked at the lady there and I went, if someone doesn't help me today, I give up. I'm in pain. It hurts. I'm tired. I can't do this anymore. And I'll never forget her. She was so lovely. She sat me down. She looked at our positioning. She spoke to me about, what's going on at home. Are you okay? All those sort of things. And then she looked at Alyssa and went, I don't think she's quite acting right. Do you mind if I do an informal? Can I just see? I have a hunch she might have a tongue tie. And she looked and she went, I think she does. The cut-off point is 11 weeks. Let me see if I can get you in at the hospital. And she was honestly an angel and she did. And that tongue tie got cut and it was a game changer. It just, everything clicked. I managed to get rid of the formula and just feed. And I'm so grateful for that because I went on to feed Alyssa until she was 3.5 because we fed through COVID for the immunity, for the fact that we were still at home and it didn't matter, it was fine. We could just feed to sleep and all those lovely things. But I love that she was a bit older and I have those memories. And then we got to the Christmas and she was 3.5 and she said, I don't want milk tonight. And I was a bit taken aback. I was like, okay, that's fine. And I took her in and then I went in my room and cried because that was just such a big sign that she'd grown up. And I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to let go of that after we'd worked so hard. That was very emotional. And about 2 weeks later, she did say, could I have some milk? And my supply had completely dropped. And yeah, I said, it's gone. And she looked a bit defeated, a bit sad, and a bit. And she was like, okay, then. And we went and had a cuddle, and that was the end of our journey. But it was lovely as well because it was on her terms. I was so determined to not go through all that and have that struggle. We had a bit of trouble with our latch at first because obviously it was brand new to him and it's a brand new child to me. And he was a bigger baby than Alyssa was. So, even just moving your position of arms and all that stuff. And I went to a breastfeeding group straight away this time. I didn't go. I had the midwife 3 days in and it was the same day. And I just walked in and I was like, can someone check our latch? Can someone have a look? And they were all so lovely again in there and so supportive. And it's just nice to go somewhere where it's not weird. So hard when you've just had a newborn to feel confident in yourself to advocate or ask or all of that sort of stuff. You have to have that little bit. I think I was more confident this time having Rowan than I was the first time to go and ask for the help and know it's there. Being a little bit younger, I felt a lot of the time like I should know what I'm doing more. And now this time, being a little bit older and having the bigger age gap, I'm thankful that I know no one knows what they're doing. And we're all just trying our best and winging it. With Alyssa, with no one figuring out the tongue tie, I felt ashamed because I felt like my body wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. I didn't give birth in the way I wanted to. It didn't go as I planned. I was very poorly afterwards. And I felt like I'm built for this. I'm a woman. I'm supposed to be able to do this. And it didn't work. And it wasn't my fault. And I know that now. But at the time, with all the hormones and having a new baby and being expected to just be super mom as soon as they are here and juggle everything, I think some of it was shame. It was I should know how to do this. I should be able to figure it out. Why can't I figure it out? As if it was all on my shoulders. I think there could be improvements, but I also do think it's got better. Having the 7 year gap, there's a lot more around now for Alyssa's age. I can see that, like for example, me and Rowan have been able to do baby yoga this time round. Signed up for classes. There's always things going on at the hubs where the breastfeeding groups are, and that's been really lovely. In terms of those sort of groups and those support groups, I've seen a real boost, and it's really nice to see. And it's nice to see that it's not just for his age. There's workshops for older children and teens, but I wish it was more inclusive for breastfeeding. If you go into our town centre, there are not very many places that you can feed. There is a chair in the changing, in the room where you change the babies with the changing mat, and there's a chair. And I understand that that's there for, but then again, it's a changing room for babies being changed. I wish there were more places to sit and feel comfortable breastfeeding. And for example, in Telford, when we've been shopping there, there's a family room and there's a breastfeeding room at the back. And I think that's so lovely to have in the town centre if you're not comfortable. It's not even just for the breastfed babies. So I just wish there were more places for you to be able to sit with your pram and your children and be comfortable. I think it will bring more people back into the town centre, and you can meet more mums that way. You can have a broader village. It was hard because as much as Adam was my safe space, and this time I was able to appreciate that, but the first time I just want my mum. That's the only way I can word it. That gut feeling of, and she's not here, and what do I do? And not having that person to turn to and go, what do I do? She's not this, that, and having, your mum is the first to advocate for you. I know she'd be proud that I breastfed, because I know she wanted to and she didn't get to because there wasn't the support in the 90s, and I know she'd be proud of that, and I know she'd be such a big advocate for it. Yeah, it's a shame she didn't see it, but I also feel very proud that I did something she couldn't. And I heard a saying yesterday, I can't remember if I read it or what, but it said that your parents, your mum will always be happy that you're better than them. They're the only person you're ever going to know that's going to be truly happy that you've done better or gone further. Because my mum was a single mum. She's where I get that what you were talking about, that feminist, like it's my right to choose, and you go girl and you do it because we can attitude from. And I wouldn't have been able to breastfeed without her stubbornness that I've already claimed. I wouldn't have been able to do that. So yeah, she wasn't there, and that was hard. But I have elements of, yeah, I get this from my mum.